whole bunch of clothes from Gap, H&M, and all that just floats in there. What right there?
Gap, H&M, Zara,
Yep.
Shein. Fashion Nova is not even included in that. The top five is Gap, H&M, Zara.
Shein's number one.
Shein is number one. I forgot who the last one was, but
Yep.
They said the United States 60 million garments hour. 60 million garments an hour wasted in the United States alone.
Oh, they need to
That
stop.
shit-
We need to stop consuming. No, we need you to stop consuming. So
Take two, man. This is Real Nigga Podcast. This
Man,
is Lee.
get a job.
Good evening, world.
Keep
This is Lee
hands
Johnson.
camera.
Once again with
Get out
Real
there,
Man,
man,
Real
man,
Stories Podcast. My name's
Boy,
Lee
you ain't
Johnson. This
real.
is Real Men,
Where's
Real
the
Stories
music
by
at?
Lee Johnson. How you doing
Boy,
out
you
there?
sweaty
My
as
name is
hell.
Lee Johnson.
What you
Here
think
again
you the
from Real
polo
Man, Real
player?
Stories Podcast. Real
that
Men,
shit's still blurry.
Real
What
Stories.
the hell is
I'm gonna
that?
call this episode 7. Welcome to the Real
Sandy
Man, Real
Sam.
Story Podcast, man. I'm Lee Johnson,
We
man.
outside. We outside. Real Men, Real Stories Podcast. Damn, there still ain't no music.
Welcome to the world today, man. It's Real Men, Real Stories Podcast, checking in with you with another great episode. We got another guest popping in us with us today, man. We're gonna be talking about consumerism. We're gonna bring it on home with some words of wisdom from our guest, man. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna keep on talking about you. Why don't you gonna introduce yourself to our people out there, man?
What's going on? My name is Clive, the Black Businessman. Find me everywhere. That's what I do. We just talk about business. How do we make sure to make money to make an impact? That's my whole goal in life, is to make money so we can make an impact. If we can skip the money and just make impact, that would be cool. But right now, we have to make money to make an impact.
Why don't you gonna introduce yourself, Miss?
Hater alert, but whatever.
Oh.
But y'all know who I am. I know y'all like my hair. These guys don't. Whatever.
I didn't say anything about
Hey,
your hair.
Boogie. I'm here defending myself as usual and challenging.
Go on and introduce yourself, my brother over here on my right, man.
well, y'all already know who I am. I am Professor, and we are definitely coming soon now. Now that I have the time on my hand, but I'm about to start making those do that shit yourself videos. It's time. So just like you said, you can find me at Professor_DTSY. That's where you can find me at.
Shoot, man, I want everybody to go in the shop. We got a room full of bosses, room full of people here, man. I'm gonna introduce the world famous producer back over there, Javon, man. Bang Bang Boogie. We're gonna introduce the photographer, the other producer, the legend, the light skinned bandit himself. Go and introduce yourself, my brother. That's all we gotta hear. You gotta say yeah, because Lex is so Lex. Hey man, welcome to the podcast. It's Real Man, Real Stories. I'm gonna shout out our sponsors, Green Love Kitchen, man. I'm going to let them. What is your best? What's your best meal on the menu?
Well, just like I said, the jerk mushrooms is definitely my favorite. But yesterday I did the chickpeas, the curry chickpeas, and usually I don't care for curry because it usually be too strong. But whatever curry that they're using, it's the right flavor. Like I actually
It's
enjoy
the one
it.
Christopher Columbus is trying to look for. It's
Yes, yes.
How do we go racist with curry?
What happened? No real talk is because he used Jamaican curry and not Trini curry.
So it's unanimous.
Yes.
Unanimous.
It does
Fuck
matter.
Green Love. Fuck
Yes.
Green Love is unanimous.
Your stomach will thank you later.
I'm also gonna let our lady announce our next sponsors. What they got going on Wednesday, man?
Oh man, it's over.
Oh, it is?
It was only a couple.
And that was the last day?
It was the last one.
You gonna do it again?
We build a community, bro.
Okay.
It's gonna continue to happen, but you know what I mean? Like it's gonna like extend to the wellness center.
Okay.
We're gonna be able to help people recharge and you know what I'm saying?
Okay, and that wellness center, they'll probably be able to get some massages from you, right?
So yeah, you see how that shit just flows into together, people. So now we got a wellness center that we're gonna pop out, man. I'm gonna let Javon. What's the address? What's gonna be the address?
2566 Wigan Street.
Yeah, we'll let you know when it's ready to come out. I'm the certified massage therapist in the house, so these phalanges, these magic fingers, gonna be rubbing on some of you.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Your voice too deep for me, but I don't even want to do so Atlanta no more after that. I don't even want to do so. I'm so Atlanta. Picture me in Magic City right now getting the lap dance from the light skinned chick named Keisha. That's how Atlanta we is. That's how I'm so Atlanta, man. Atlanta not even a strip club. It is the regular club. You know what I'm saying? Bring your girls, bring your kids during lunchtime. They're selling wings. I'm so Atlanta. One
And
of the
the lemon
best
pepper the
restaurants
best.
in Atlanta is a strip club, Magic City.
Lemon pepper. That's the
So
flavor.
lemon pepper, man.
That's the best thing.
Stroker's got the best food. I ain't even gonna lie.
Strokers got better food in Atlanta.
Yeah, Stroker's got the best. You go outside to the restaurant next door, food to go, open 24/7. Best food you'll ever had. In the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning, and they deliver.
It seems like we are. How do you know more about the strip club than everybody else in here?
Because that's how Atlanta I am.
I'm going to stop that segment right after that. We just going to move on to the topic of the day. The topic of the day is a hot topic, man. I don't know if everybody got Netflix. I'm pretty sure everybody got. I'm not talking about that Mike Tyson fight. We talking about something more important. We talking about the show that they had, a documentary called Buy Now. Buy Now is a documentary that Netflix got out, and it's basically talking about how consumerism is being manipulated into us buying too much shit, and we don't have enough places to put it. Everybody's thought about it. Got the water bottle on the table. That's a prop to know that all plastic ain't recyclable. So the show basically touched on different corporations and different companies that implemented plans on how to not make products work. Every product has a life expectancy, which it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And they want you to buy more. I think from the show, what I'm gonna start off with is what they talked about in 1925, where they had the guys in the light bulb industry,
light bulb.
and they all sat around and said the light bulb was 25,000 watts. It lasted 2,500 or
25,000 hours.
25,000 hours, but the light bulb could last like 100 or some years, hundreds of years, right?
That's what they had light bulb lasting at first.
And then
And
it
they
did what?
cut it down to 10,000 hours. So that way that they burn out faster. So that way that we consume and buy more light bulbs. So that way that's how they keep making
It
money.
still survives for over 1,000 years because it's not recyclable. It's not.
It's the material that it's made out of.
So basically, all right, and I want my brother to chime in because we was talking about capitalism. What does capitalism have to do with that scenario, with that situation?
Well, because at all times, money, the shareholder is the person that they're looking to serve, right? So the shareholder is always looking for profit. So when you're not, that's why we always talk about make money to make an impact. And if we can bypass the money, we'll just try to make an impact. Because at the end of the day, every shareholder, right, in a company, say so privately or publicly, their goal is to make more profit, right? To get a dividend, to get a return. So everybody is pressed to find a way to actually make more money, right? So it's like, all right, how do we get more recurring money, right? Because now we have what we call a reoccurring cycle, right? So we know that just based on numbers, what you're talking about with the light bulb, is that hey, if it lasts these 10,000, if it only lasts for you were saying for 10,
You know, if it only lasts for if it only lasts for 10,000 hours, that
10,000 hours, right?
Yes.
So we understand that people are going to have to keep going by and back. And based on that, based on what we say the population is, who has to buy lights, what's our market share? You know, if we have 10% of the market, right? And we know that, you know, and that's 1 million people, right? And we know that that it'll last them 5 years, we can understand what our return on investment on, and we can say, hey, we can measure our business growth from that, right? And then we can start cutting it down. So there's nothing in here that's going to make them want to make sure it lasts longer.
So basically, is capitalism, in your opinion, a good thing or a bad thing, or is it just a thing?
No, I think it's a bad thing because the end result, what we're looking after, right? And a lot of people are going to say, you know, a lot of people are like, hey, you know, we live in America, the greatest country in the world, and capitalism is what makes it great, right? But I always say that we're not founded on capitalism; we're founded on imperialism.
There you go.
Right? So that is what, because we've gone to. There's a lot of things that they want to make it seem like there's fair trade here. But if you go around any agreements that America has with most countries, it's not a fair agreement. Their thing is always not to get a fair agreement because their thing is to protect America. So it's always imperialism, whether that's economic imperialism, whether that's military imperialism. It's not capitalism. Capitalism is made to get a profit. That's the end goal. That's all we're trying to do, and profit any kind of way that we can see fit. So it doesn't matter. We're going to violate any principle, moral, anything. All wars are fought because of profit.
So basically, all wars, and from what you're saying, all wars is basically fought over gain.
Yeah. So it's because if you control the resources, right?
Mhm.
And now we have to always remember. Sometimes we just think of resources as money, gold, but people are also resources, right?
Mhm.
So when we
Mhm.
talk, so when we think about that's the main resource. So when we think about we have to have a political ideology. That's why they fight for governments to be inside a type of governments, right? So they're like, hey, you're democratic, you're socialist, right? We've seen countries that came across because people will you can take Vietnam, how they prospered
Mhm.
after America's gone, right? And they lost that war, right?
Controversial, but
Well, I'm saying when I say they lost them, so what do we constitute as lost?
okay, what are we constituting as the war?
Well,
War, like the physical war, like them, U.S. going there and
Vietnam was really actually never declared a war.
I think I think he's talking about the financial war.
we're saying
we're talking about the financial.
we're talking about the war of what government ideology controls the government to this day? A socialist government that is declared the winner.
Yeah, that's the clear winner.
That's the clear winner.
So U.S. lost in that
yes,
sense.
that's all. Yes. So the U.S. But I'm saying, but they were fighting over ideology, right? So all of these things. The same thing with Cuba. This is why they have because now they can't control the economics. They've given freedom to everybody around the country, right? So all these countries say, hey, we're free. The reason why this is why they had a problem with Fidel over it because Fidel came in and said we want the economic freedom. We want to control the land because most of these countries that you see, even though people have the political freedom, they don't have the economic freedom.
Mhm. Well, I mean, our country was started off of
Imperialism,
but economics. The actual Constitution wasn't written for a certain group of people, so automatically that can't be capitalism. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a playing field that everybody can profit off of. But we're gonna go back.
Capitalism was meant to be like in its definition. It was never meant to be an equal playing field for.
I mean, in definition, in definition, is supposed to give you hope that anybody can make it. So that's a mind state of an equal playing field. But we know it takes a less few people because there got to be workers and there got to be bosses. And it's not going to be as many bosses that are workers. So we do understand that. But we can also jump to what success. A person's success is different from another person's success. But we're on by now. We're on garbage. You know what I'm saying? So
and the reason why we came back, but the garbage came back because
yeah.
Because we were coming back to the point of
Yeah.
capitalism, right? Is what fuels this garbage.
Exactly.
And that's what we're going back to.
Exactly.
It all stems from where is it? Why do people want garbage, right? Why are they producing all these clothes? Why? Because they need this material to not be fit right? They need you to be like, oh, I need a new jacket, right? So through the material shrinking, being in the wash, fading, and then on top of that, hey, we're gonna keep pushing out new fashions. We got fall season, we got winter season, we got summer, we got spring, we got this new fashion. This lady's coming out with this, and with all of these different styles, and then pushing it on the algorithm, having influencers, everybody's trying to sell, and then you got to remember these companies are competing with each other.
Yeah.
So it's not just like it's one company they're gonna always make the money. Everybody's here is trying to get a piece of this $1 trillion pocket.
Yeah, I think the one company though that does set itself aside is Apple, because Apple is the smartphone leader. I think they set the standard of in the U.S., but it still sets
Not in the world.
for the U.S. We kind of set the standards on a lot of consumerism because we buy everything. You know what I'm saying? And everything. Most people tailor their shit for us to buy, and
I feel like that's changing with the Asian countries now having more influence than America, not only entertainment wise, but it's starting to become financial wise. With the whole Russia and China, coming together, the breaks and everything.
But
No, listen to me. What I'm saying is like America is no longer. If we say America as a whole and not a race, because of course we know Black people, they still have things for Black people, but America as a whole is not no longer the leader in entertainment. Like we see that in Netflix, how the Squid Games and everything, and like now we got more people watching Korean films than we ever did. So
this is why the Americans are the leader of everything, because we set the standard. Even if and there was more Japanese people watching the World Series, but it is our World Series. They're worried about winning our Grammys, and they're worried about winning our Oscars. There's not a person's worried about winning any awards that they got in Tokyo. That to the point. So what I mean by that is we set the standards for certain things, and we set the standards for buying things. Not everything, but that's what I mean by we we set that standard. They want to win an Oscar more
Because,
than they probably want to win their award in their country.
because America is the consumer country.
So America's
We-
biggest export, greatest export,
Entertainment. People.
entertainment. Because
Mhm.
the thing is, they have a propaganda. Everybody
Propaganda machine.
especially not being from this country, right? When you start to see that before you came here, it was like it's a streets full of gold. When you come over here, right?
Mhm.
People think that you're rich.
Yeah.
People think that you live in America, you must be rich, right? That's how people
Mm-hmm.
and so a lot of times this is what's been purported. They export, this is the best place in the world. This and you can read any index that this has that's in the lower tier of even of so-called first world countries
Mhm.
of living standards, right? So that is where you can start to see that that's their biggest export is propaganda, because that's why they put out flyers. That's why they put out movies. That's why China has banned Google. That's why Russia has banned Google and
Oh,
YouTube,
wow.
right? Because they have a great wall, because they understand that. That's why people talk about the TikTok thing, right? About
Mhm.
that TikTok,
Mhm.
what you see here is not what you see in China, right?
Mhm.
Because all of those are proxy wars. Because other people know.
It's a software. That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
it's called the software, right?
We are the big bad West. Even when I was in the military, we were the big bad West. But we are the envy. At one time, Baywatch was the #1 watch show in the Middle East, and it was reruns. It was an already old show, and it was the #1 watch show in the Middle East. That has not changed. Hip hop rules the world. Hip hop is as America as iced tea.
But see,
It's
that's why
sweet tea
I
right
said
now.
that's two different things. If we're talking about America as a whole, that includes I'm not
But-
talking about color, but you're talking about
But-
specifically black
You're
people.
repping, but
And you're right.
even white people.
No,
White people like even white people is a different standard.
that's what I'm saying. It's
White
not
people is a
the
different
same.
standard all over the world.
When you say
Different
white,
standard.
that's what I'm saying. It's America as a whole. But what you're talking about is black people as a whole. It's two
But-
different conversations.
But it's still the same conversation, because in the world, black people, our culture built the common world that we have today. So we are America, and the white folks know we America. That's why they kind of tend to bite, but I don't want to be like. But I'm a bite, but I don't want to be like. You know what I'm saying?
So the thing is that is no matter what we put our sauce on, it's gonna be saucy, right?
Exactly.
Period.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because the entertainment that we're putting out now, they can put out anything. We can make anything look fly. Think about it. We were talking about Revolution, it was fly. We was talking about Wade in the Water. People was listening to it, right?
Mhm.
People talking about Sexy Red and all these other people,
Yeah.
right? People are talking. No matter what we come out with, it's gonna be saucy, right? No matter what we talk about. So we control. So what they did was, because now it's another propaganda war, and like you said, most people don't want to be like us, but they want to listen to our stuff.
They want
watch
to imitate us,
they,
emulate us.
they, I don't think that they want to. I think that a lot of the outward stuff they'll emulate and look at, but not the current character or that black. You're watching something and you be like, well, that's entertaining, but that's not what you want to be, though, right?
Mhm.
So a lot.
I disagree because I'm in the interwebs a lot, right?
Alright.
I shouldn't be. It's an addiction. I need to put my phone down. But being on TikTok, being on Twitter, and I'm
Treads.
being on all of that,
Yep.
right? I'm on all fucking it, even the dark space shit. Like I'm on it. Um, I feel that's wrong. Your statement is wrong because looking at K-pop and looking at Korean films, I watch Korean films every time. They're literally taking black stories and just reframing it. So I would say it's specifically like they're trying to be us. Like they're putting on tan, they're doing all that, and they're getting money from it. Is they're imitating us, but don't want the consequence of our life. But they're benefiting from looking like us, acting like us, being us.
It's been like that though. It's always been
I'm
like
saying.
that.
So I got you, because we can go back to Elvis Presley,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the so-called rock and roll father, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I'm not disagreeing with that part right there. I'm not disagreeing with
I just
that.
wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
no, they're gonna try to imitate us. So I always say that black people are the closest thing to God, right? And I always say that. I said you can tell that by the kids, right? Because you can see a little 3-year-old how he got so much rhythm, how he's so in tune with the earth, right?
Mhm.
That's stuff you can't teach. You just can't teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like I'll be like, and rhythm is I am in tune with the movements of the earth. You cannot teach it, right? I've seen. I'm not a dancer. I've just seen people dancing, and you'll have the dance instructor like you don't have that little bit of rhythm, but black people just naturally have that.
Mhm.
So you think, you know what I'm saying? So so that
Not all us.
Majority.
I had 2 left feet. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
What I'm
It's
saying is-
hard for a child to be able to
Yeah.
be
There's anomalies in a lot of things, right?
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand.
We're
I
talking
understand.
about we're talking
I
about
feel
things
you.
that are
I feel
natural
you.
rhythm, and I like to see the kids because
I'm with you.
they're the first people that's not tainted.
Yeah.
Right? They're the first when you
Yeah.
see the children how they act and behave because they haven't been indoctrinated with any kind of illness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? It's not until they grow up and they start as people start feeding different philosophies into their head and they
Mhm.
start getting fed different things that they start right. So
Mhm.
this is why I say that you're right. They're trying to imitate us, right? And going back to the bottle and saying that hey, where all the consumerism is that they're going to use anything they can because at the end of the day, even the consumerism is to keep you confused because the number one thing is power.
Exactly.
That's the number one thing they control because if we're all disillusioned, if we're all out here and we don't try to be people that are seeing what's going on, guess what? We're just confused. They have the power because they don't care that our school districts are messed up. They don't care that they don't live in these places where the world is messed up.
Mhm.
They got islands. They can go. A lot of people don't even live here.
Yeah. Don't
You
even.
know what I'm saying? They don't even live here. They on an island somewhere. They got houses, places where they don't see the consequences of these things. So they're not worried about those consequences.
Mhm. So let me ask you something. So let me ask y'all something. So when I jumped about and I talked about Apple, I want to ask y'all a question. How would y'all handle the situation? So, like we said, most things are built not to last, or they can make money. That's like one of the prime things
Yep.
that they use in
Consume,
capitalism.
consume.
So so their mindset as soon as they put it on the shelf, they don't have to deal with it. It's not their problem anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whatever they did to make it biodegradable, whatever they made it to make it childproof, that's it. They done with
Yep.
it. They put us on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as y'all being business owners, do you feel like it is the business responsibility to worry about where does that trash go? Or is it our responsibility or is it our fault for consuming so much stuff? You know what I'm saying? So which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
I'm so mad I didn't do my homework really well because
Oh.
in class I just learned about this. But I think it's both, you know, because it's like let's say you have a small country, right? Yeah, Jamaica, Haiti, Madagascar, whatever, right? The small country, and you're the biggest corporation on there. Your survival depends on these people. Like it's a bacteria parasite relationship where like y'all depend on each other to live.
Yeah,
So if you're
symbiotic.
out here killing the people who are feeding you
Okay.
to survive, then you don't have no one to buy it. Now you have a destitute country. Now you have to go to another country and redo that whole process
I got
all over again. So I feel like companies, my answer is no. They don't have a responsibility to it, right? Because
okay.
I'm a business person. I see it logically, right? If I was the CEO of the company and my job, hey, I'm hiring you, or you say, hey, I'm hiring you, and you need to we're broke. We need money. Whatever we need to do to get money, I'ma fucking do it.
Okay, interesting.
Is it ethics? Is it ethical? Is it moral? Is it value? It doesn't really fucking matter. My goal is to get money.
And that's
But
their goal.
if I'm thinking about morally
Mhm.
and value wise, it is my responsibility. But we live in a free market. We live in a capitalist society where the focus is about me, what I can get, how much I can get it, and I need it now. So I'm going to do what I have to do. And yeah, that means, some people gotta die.
What
Fuck
do you
it, die
think, Blair?
peasants.
Well, dare I say I'm different because I'm more of a moral person because I don't like to chase the almighty dollar because to me, chasing that dollar is the same to me as being chasing crack. So because that's an addiction also. That's what I feel. I just needed to be comfortable. So I'd rather create a business that's I'm selling brand new things, but I'd rather create another business to just maintain what my product that's already out there. So if I'm selling something brand new, I'd rather hire technicians and stuff and train them to go
That's
to the
not
homes and
viable.
repair the stuff.
That's not viable for
It's
you.
viable if you keep. It's
Okay.
viable because what you're doing, you keeping people employed, keeping
But you
people
don't have
working.
to.
But if you have to keep making new stuff, if you have to keep making new stuff,
But if I have the money to
just
keep
to,
making
just to keep
stuff,
just to
why
keep
not?
somebody employed, just to keep somebody employed, to me that's not a good product.
Why not? Because I'm still making money. I'm meeting my goal.
Yeah, you're
Everyone.
meeting your goal, but you're destroying the earth at the same time.
What does that have to do with me?
It has to
The
do
one
with your
that's in a big place.
it has to do with your
What's
it
the
has to do with your
difference?
generation that comes after you.
What the fuck? I care
So
about.
you don't give
I'm
a fuck
thinking
about.
about getting those now.
So other words you
All my money.
so other words you say you don't give a fuck about your son.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You did. You just said that. Yes, you did.
You're talking about because my son is gonna
How you?
my son's gonna inherit the same money that I have and the same ideologies and the same teachings, and he's when I die, he's still gonna get that inheritance.
That's not.
He's still gonna think the same way I do and say fuck the next generation.
That's if. That's what. How's the next generation gonna come if you're fucking up the earth right now?
That doesn't matter. We got enough money to figure it out and to afford it.
Okay.
You know the thing is, right? You know, we all got money until we don't have none, right? Until the bank,
Exactly.
until the bank. You know, I always carry cash.
That parking death was safe until somebody got robbed.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
Exactly.
it was safe until I got robbed in it yesterday. It ain't safe no more.
So I always tell people, yo, I'm not rich until I have my own water source and I have my own farm.
My
Right?
man.
So that's
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you reach that certain number, if I'm the CEO of the company, I'm already there. I can buy my own items and have the environmental
there's three
friendly
things.
shit that I
There's three
need.
things in life that you got to be able to do, right? That I think about that. One is you got to have your own water source.
Okay.
Two is you got to have your own food supply.
There you
And
go.
three is you got to be able to defend it.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? So, because if you can't defend it, guess what? You can be any people. And I'm saying when
Anyone can come and take it.
and I'm not even talking about a physical defense. I'm talking about a mental defense,
Mhm.
allied defense,
Legal
right?
defense.
Legal defense,
Mhm.
right? I'm talking about all the ways and understanding how you can defend things, right? Because this is all about. This is why community is so involved, right? Because people don't understand that. This is why all these rich guys they say, hey, they're all masterminds and things like that. Because why? Because power is in knowing each other, right? That's why even the NFL is a league because they're going to keep out competition. The NBA, an association,
Mhm.
they're going to keep out competition, right? Because our goal is to make sure that we in here in this collective right here that we group together, we're going to make sure that we always get money, right? That we always have power, that we always control things. Because unlike what you think it is, this is not a free market, right? And this is not people, and they don't want to even playing field. The thing in any business right now, if people will talk about, hey, what's your unfair advantage? Because you're trying to have an unfair advantage. You want to have an unfair advantage. That's what you're looking for, right? So no matter what kind of sanctions they try to put on these people, no matter what kind of things they put on these people. Now, the last thing is think about Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, right? Folks is multi. I mean, like they can't spend the money off the money, right? It's infinite, right? They still involved. You know why? Because they understand the money don't mean nothing. Money just to get you in the game. Yeah. That's not it. So I used money as the analogy of air, right? Right.
They become philanthropists.
What's the? No, they come to control things because one again. If I go to
fucking White House.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because these are all power plays.
Is he run? Is he? Did you see what I'm saying? And he got and his money is wide. So is he up Trump's ass or Trump up his ass? It might matter in the grand scheme of things how long it goes. Because how what
they all have a play. They all play a part. Like one ain't in the other. They literally they doing what we doing.
Mhm.
One nigga in front of the camera, one nigga behind the camera.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know if they. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
SpaceX.
Yeah.
SpaceX.
Space, as long as the government made it in the space, SpaceX is the first one that's made to take a plug and ship out to outer space and bring it back and make it reused.
Mhm.
They surpassed NASA.
Yep, the chop
So,
suey.
so therefore, that being said, Elon Musk ain't just sitting around with all that money. That mug created.
No, but that's my point though. My point is that he's not. My point is that he's not sitting around.
Who's the puppet? Who's the puppet master? Both, and I don't think it's sharing equal. I think with people like that, it's a puppet and there's a puppet master. Who's the puppet? Who's the puppet
now
master?
it is. I think later
Let me
on we'll
ask you a
be able to
question.
figure out who it was, but right now
Let me say this, right? Let me ask you this. If you have a goal, right? You want to achieve something, right? And this man right here is going to help you. You got to listen to what he says. He's the one leading you there. Do you care that you want when people say you're the puppet, he's the puppet master? Because you're doing it because you see that he has a way. They all Trump has said, yo,
Oh,
people
no, I disagree with that. No. Trump is no. One thing I do know is some men are not like that. Some men have gained power and they're not about sharing power.
I ain't say sharing
No,
power.
no,
I ain't talking about power.
You're talking about delegation of authority.
No, what I said is because that's what leverage is.
And leveraging is different from now leveraging is what P. Diddy got himself into. So now let's no you got to identify the motivator. And what I'm saying is there's a puppeteer and there's a in men and those men and men like that everybody's trying to gain something for somebody, everybody, but there's more of a puppeteer, more of a puppet. And I'm not saying
What are
Trump
they trying
is,
to gain?
I don't know.
I'm asking. I mean, because you
Right
well, I'm
now,
saying you can
right.
guess,
My,
though.
my theory, my
Yes.
guess is I think Trump is trying to fulfill the 2025 project. He's
But
in
why
place
does he want that though?
because he wants people in play in certain aspects. So if he wants to cut things, he wants people that he trusts in certain parts of the government. So if he wants shit to move his way, it's going to move his way.
But
Not
why
like
does he?
his
But why?
first
But
4 years.
why
He's
does
not
he?
going to do like he did his last.
Why does he? I'm saying exactly. What's his ultimate goal?
His
A lot
ultimate
of work for nothing.
his ultimate goal, Trump's ultimate goal is to keep whatever he got in play. And I don't know. I read some of Project 25, but I know that's not all him because he's his own man also. Whatever he got in play, he wants to keep it going after he's
Like
president.
what?
I can't listen.
I mean, like,
We can guess to say they like we hold on, we can guess say world domination. We can guess say make more money. We can guess say Trump got a lot of money. I'm thinking he's in a whole nother playing field and what he wants to do. He's on, and I'm not saying world domination, but he really wants the world to bend for him. Why? You got to ask him that. Why?
I'm just saying, but that's
but
because they're all
but-
this because they all play the same game.
They are.
If you
they
look
play
at
it differently though.
what I'm saying, but what I'm talking about, the same end goal has been from the beginning of time to be the strongest country and be able to say America is the greatest country economically, militarily, culturally. They want to dominate the world. This is not have been this generation. This hasn't been the last. This has been forever since every president having their mandates. Everything has been about control. That's all it has always been about.
Make
Yeah.
America great
So
again.
that's the whole point.
But also, but one thing,
So his goal could be put America first.
But he said-
Bring jobs back.
I don't-
Bring
listen,
jobs back to the United States.
I don't
instead of
think-
all that overseas.
I don't think every president's main goal is to put American first, and I don't think every person main goal is to put American first. America is nothing. It's just it's what we make it. It's an ideology. It's a piece of land that nobody really owns, and we say we own. I think what
How do we own?
I think that they say we own. I'm not saying we own.
I'm saying why don't they own it?
Because it's land.
Can you
Like,
take it?
listen, if
If
I can come bop your head and get away with it legally, you can't. 100 years ago, I could do it that way. Now we can't. You understand what I'm saying?
Because somebody made the law. Because there are people
But-
that right now can shoot somebody, kill them in broad daylight, and get away with it. Right? That has happened. Right? So the law is only made. I use the law as a velvet rope. Right? You know what I'm saying? You go to the velvet rope, and be like, oh, you got to have the dress code on. And this other guy comes in with shorts and a t-shirt, right? And he comes by the velvet rope. The velvet rope the law is only made for those who have no connections and have no, I don't even say money, who don't have no power to get past. They don't know this person. So there's a man at the velvet rope that lets you into everything. So they're always saying, hey, we're after power. We're always trying to make sure that we're on top because they've done one thing about what the white man has done all around this world, right? They can't go nowhere. They can't go nowhere without people saying, you know what, the white man came here and it's been a problem. Anywhere, you can't name one place in the world where he ain't been to where he ain't caused no trouble. He been up there with the Eskimos, with the you know what I'm saying? He been up there with the penguins, right? We ain't even in Antarctica. He going everywhere and he gonna cause problems. This is what you gotta understand. So when you understand that, if you've been in that mentality, right, you've done something. Would you feel safe in a world where you've caused
Can't
harm?
beat the
So
shader.
when you exactly, you cause harm to so many people.
But what I don't what and I think this is what and I understand what you're saying, but this is I understand what both y'all saying, but this is where I kind of agree, but I kind of there are white people that don't give a fuck about none of that. Hold on, there are white people. No.
You got libertarian.
There are
And
white
they know how you
people.
feel about it.
There are some people in power that's so out of touch. Everything that we saying, it's preposterous. It cannot be like that. So there are individual goals, and every goal is not the benefit of the United States. And every person that's in power goal is not. There is a side goal, but their goals to benefit themselves. And maybe they call themselves United States because every move Trump made wasn't the benefit. It was for his ego. And it was for see. Listen, this is what I'm getting into. I'm getting into even the personalities of them. That generalization of this, we've been doing that shit for so long, and it ain't got us nowhere.
Generalization of what?
Generalization of they want power. We don't hope they want power. We want it. The white.
You're counting white people. You're counting the average
Let me
white man
finish.
that's
Let me
walking around
finish.
the
Let me
block.
finish. The white race is just not the old race that wants world domination, bro. Like, do you let me finish? Do you think if the roles reversed, black people wouldn't have owned slaves and brought them over here, brought the whole European race? So no, we own slaves. There's plenty
Not the
atrocities in
way-
Africa.
Hold on. Yeah.
Hold on.
I got a question.
Hold it. Not, let me.
You said
before
they-
you,
Let
me
him
finish.
cook before he destroy
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish, because it's not a generalization of. Listen, and one thing I do not believe is the white race is the only fucking race that wants to destroy everything sometimes. There's been only race that's been in history that tried to destroy or felt like, and they might not even see them doing it. They just call themselves colonization. There was a time that black folks had a beer in it, and it could have been just the part of South Africa that was the most advanced that they said at that time in the world was trying to colonize shit too. It is a human nature. It's all of us. It is in everybody. Right now, it just seems to be us because it's the most recent, because we saying that they the ones in power at the very moment. But it is in all of us. It has not in history, all human beings have the potential to be on some bullshit. So, like I said, it got to get off a generalization of world domination and world power. What does he individually want? What does he individually want to fucking do? Individual. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Oh, and then you might be able to, and I understand what you're saying, but there's something more than just world domination. You know what I'm saying?
What else could there be? What else could there
You're
be?
talking about duality in nature. You can't have dark without light. You can't have light without dark.
All I'm saying.
So
So
I'm
I'm gonna get.
somebody some fuck shit no matter what color they
But I'm not saying. But see, I didn't. So number one is that doesn't, because I said
That's
he
not
wants world domination doesn't mean that I said that all black people are the saints, right? So number one is that the argument when people say, you know what, black people have slaves too. I always ask them. I said, name me the black family in Africa or in America that's rich right now off of slavery.
That's rich right now for slavery.
Yeah, they got.
Pretty sure there's some African nations.
I said name them.
I don't know any white families
What?
by name.
I mean,
Rockefeller, JP
Rockefeller,
Morgan.
But like, hold on, but like, no, you don't got me, because like I was saying, because you don't got me, because you keep on bringing up that same issue. Now you want me to name something that I could name and he could name and you could name. But time out. I'm not deflecting. I'm deflecting because I'm about to get into Google and I'll name a whole bunch of shit after I fucking finish. But let me. That's unnecessary. That is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. What I just want to say is human beings ain't changed. The mindset ain't changed. It ain't different because of this and that. It's all about money. It's about money. Then it ain't changed. So I don't know a white. All right, we know Johnson and Johnson. This, and that. I don't know who the fucking actual Johnson dude is. So I still don't know. Now, as far as we know, there's been black people that own slaves in different parts of the world. There's black people that own white people. There was a black emperor in Rome. There's all kinds of shit that don't nobody we need to bring up. All I'm saying is recent generalization ain't helping what we got. I'm sorry, ain't helping what we got going on. Like you said, it's duality. There's gonna be this and there's gonna be
Let's
that.
get away from the past, then, right? I'm gonna bring up this right here.
So bring the past. Because the president is so fucking flukazy. We
But
know
we're
it's gazy.
the reason we're in the present,
Gazy.
but the reason we're here is because of the past.
You said we can't.
We're here. We're
We're not here because of the past. We're here because people don't want to recognize the past. People don't recognize what happened in the past. And that's why we're here right now. It's not irrelevant. And that's the problem, because everything is irrelevant. I just said it. I think, listen, you keep asking questions that I already answered. I just said it. All right.
Recognize the past.
We gonna stop the past.
Because we wouldn't get a Trump.
Right now, we talking about how companies right now is tricking people into buying more consumer shit. You agree that fuck the world, let's buy it all up and let it die. You agree that you wrong. So yeah, we plant that. So now let me tie that in. So we all agree that's Fugazi. We all agree the election Fugazi. We all agree Trump Fugazi. Right now, we all agree the internet is Fugazi. So stop talking about the Fugazi shit that we got going. It's fucking Fugazi. So if you want to use, don't use that as a reason, as a this, and then turn around and be like, well, what do you think about this person to say? Because that is something that we can look up and figure out. What we talking about is Fugazi shit, and we talking about perspectives. You understand what I'm saying? So past is always going to matter because the past is the only thing that we know was real. Right now, this shit is fucking Fugazi. You know I'm telling the truth. It's fucking Fugazi. All right, I'm done. Go ahead. Because I'm telling you. So hopefully that's if any other question about like, do I know who this person? No, I don't know.
The reason
I know,
the
but the
reason why
present
the reason
is
why we ask the
fugazi.
reason why we ask these questions,
Go
right, is
for it.
because because we are our ancestors,
Mhm.
and the same way you said that our descendants are us, right? The same way he was talking about.
Mhm.
Because hey, are you ready for these people down there? Are you living for the next generation? Because our ancestors lived for us,
Yeah.
right? To make sure that we were here, right? Everything that happened to our ancestors, right? And I say that they pass it down. Now, I always say, yo, you know what? We're in a situation because white people had slavery, right? But I always say that, yo, I'm not gonna look to the white man and say, yo, you know what? I need you to fix this or give me reparations, or I'm not gonna do any of that because every man is out here in survival. You know what the dangerous thing is? Is that everybody they think that what they did was right and justified.
Yeah.
Because if you ask anybody that did slavery, that had slavery, that slavery went happen, that was the past, that was something that had to go through. We're not like that anymore. We shouldn't even worry about that. There's a lot of talking points about that. So because every man believes he wants to be righteous. White, black, Chinese, everybody. Every culture talks about honor. From the Western, from the Wild Wild West man to all the way to the samurai, right? To the Chinese Kung Fu man, right? To the African Asafo. Everybody talks about being an honorable man. So they do not want to acknowledge that as dishonorable. That was something that happened in the past. That was something that, and they always say, hey, I have nothing to do with that, right? And I said, but you still own land from that. You still have opportunity from that. And so, hold on, I'm gonna give you where everybody has opportunity, right? Just so
all of them don't take responsibility for their ancestors.
It don't even matter.
No,
I'm
but the way
talking about that. You're talking about the fucking trust.
But you're talking about
the who.
Talking about reparations.
I,
Just the R word.
no, just the other day.
Say the R word.
Just the other day, Malcolm X's daughter, the family is suing the United States FBI, CIA, and the NYP for the death of their father.
About time. About time.
But we understand that there it's
Concerted
a
effort.
concerted effort, exactly,
Concert.
that has gone on from after we can take slavery out of it. We can just go through what's going on in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We can go on. We can talk about this disruption of. I always use reggae music because people just only know rap. But the same thing happened in reggae. What you see, what happened with Bob Marley, and then you see coming down when you see the new dance hall music where people are talking crazy now, right? The same thing happened because they understood that we are a people that talk through song, that talk through language. We talk through rhythm. We can just give a head nod and be like, yo, and we said 1,000 words.
It
You
is
know what I mean? So you know danger or not danger,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
You can see your man's and you can see that he off.
Yep.
That he
Right.
like, why he acting funny like that?
Uh-huh.
He said nothing.
Right.
He
Yeah.
did nothing,
Yeah.
right? And you can see it, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we that's how we move. We
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
with rhythm.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my point is that they use all these vibrations,
Yeah.
right? Because that's how we move off of vibrations. We spiritual people.
They're
We
tapping
supposed-
in.
we supposed to people.
Do the same.
They study us more than we study them. That's what people be like, yo, they be like, they don't know what's going on.
They do.
They know what's going on.
All of
That's why we have to.
And that's why the Asians have started tapping into it and making millions.
You know what the difference in
money
them
off
is?
it.
They study us. We study them, but they're
No, we don't study them.
no. We study them.
We don't study
No,
them.
because
No, black people do not. Here's my take, right? Because
that we study them.
no, we do not. No,
No. Come on. You can study them. No, I'm gonna let it cook. I'm gonna let you cook.
Let me cook.
I'm gonna let you
right?
cook. I'm gonna let you cook.
Again, as a younger, whatever you want to call me, I feel like we don't study them right to the point, to the level that they do. They study us, they copy us, they profit. We don't study them to profit. We study them to consume, and we fall into their trap of where we're constantly making money for them. So no, I don't think that we study them the same way, because if we did, we would have had a revolution along.
Oh, there you go with that revolution shit.
Yeah, I'm here with it.
If you'd have let me finish,
I'm not going to end with
I'm
it.
going right where you going.
Okay,
If you'd have
bring
let,
it on then.
so what I'm saying is, a comedian I heard, he said, white people, the problem with black, the comedian, he got on stage and said the problem with black people is y'all worried about us and we don't give a fuck about y'all. So they study us, but they don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah,
We study them
and we give a fuck.
and we trying to give a fuck about them, and we trying to, because we are forgiving people. We put, what was it, Barbara Walters, not Barbara Walters, but
Except to ourselves.
Except to we kill our own seed,
We bring everyone to the barbecue.
but we bring everybody. But what's the lady that went to prison for a traitor, for inside trader? Martha Stewart. We brought Martha Stewart back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we brought Martha Stewart.
back to life.
We're forgiving people, but we don't forgive. But I guess that's a whole. That's
because
a whole
that's
Yeah.
because they've taught all black people to hate
To hate themselves.
No, they taught everybody to hate black people.
Yeah,
Black people,
yeah.
right? Because if you go to any country, right,
Exactly.
in every country, I'm gonna give you a couple things, right? The darker people, right? Not even black, like you're Japanese
darker.
and you're darker Japanese, you're outside, right?
You're outside.
If you're in India and you're a darker Indian, right? You're not even
Yeah,
black,
crazy,
right?
man.
You know what I'm saying? So everywhere, if you go into South America, right? They always have a thing called mejor raza, right? So that just means better the race, marrying into people that are lighter skinned, right? There's a whole culture behind it. Then the next thing you can talk about, we've never oppressed anybody. You can't name a country that's run by black people where there's another group of people of a different skin color that's oppressed.
We can find where we bless them all the way from
exactly.
Masa Musa went from
I'm talking about right now, but right now you
And
can't
share
find a
this
country in this
economy.
world. You can't find a country in
We
this
never
world.
left nobody fucked up.
We don't have nobody in there where we like, yo, where they like, oh, you know what?
Even with slavery, since we own
So
slaves.
we never been a people. So when we say that
It's
we
different
study
forms
them,
of slavery.
because we care what they think
But not
about
letting
us.
it go home.
We care what they think. They care about us. They study us too, so that we can spend. We care about them because we want their opinion. We care about how they feel. We're like, yo, does he think I'm good enough? We just need to have moral character, and we need to be better, and we just need to pull our pants up and be people that are right. They care about it. They're like, yo, what they gonna buy? Yo, if I put the music like this and I do it like this and I make a commercial like this, they'll buy that. That's what they're studying us for. So we're studying each other, but it's for different outcomes.
Man, this is a great conversation. You should comment, like, and share. Plug in Real Men, Real Stories. Because I'm the only female, you should definitely subscribe.
If you really care what this brother's talking about, and he really cares, if you really care about it, we gonna say care about 5 more times. You would like, subscribe, comment to this content that we bringing you, man. This jewels that we dropping, man. I think I want to take it. I want to stay with the buy now, but I want to see what do you. So I know you take on the consumerism. I know you take. I love your take. I know you take on the consumer. I love you. So how do you think? I already know you don't. How do you think we could solve that issue? Do you think there should be laws in place to not allow you to consume as much stuff? Should there be? Oh, that's going there. I love that. Should there be laws in place to not allow these companies to produce so much product? Should there be a cap on the stock? You know what I'm saying? But that's going to cap money. Should, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's the question. Do you think we should put laws in place, or do you think more just keep going in status quo?
Such a complicated question, because just knowing what different kind of markets there are and what different kind of economic, free market, not free market, socialist market, all of that is so hard to say, right? But I'm be the evil guy, because fuck it, right? Fuck all of y'all. I'm a corporate girly, so fuck it all. If I have to choose, like, if I'm building a company, yes, it seems selfish. Yes, it seems immoral. Yes, it doesn't line up with your values, but your values ain't lining up with my tax bracket. So I gotta do what's right for me. It seems very selfish, but it is what it is. That's the world we live in. If you're asking me that way, if you're asking me as a business person, that's what I.
Well, she's a woman, right? So the problem is that because she's a woman, right?
Here we go.
I was on your side the whole
Here
time.
we go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
because I was thinking the same thing. Because I was thinking the exact same thing. Because it's the women that really want all that clean bling
So what you brothers was thinking?
I just want to add something.
Go for it.
I think we kind of get off subject. I want to say, state level, right? New York State said for McDonald's they couldn't supersize meals and shit, or like it was able to cap what exactly they were selling to the people. So a person can't go to McDonald's in New York and get supersized. You got
which ended all of
California laws.
California's changing their food laws.
You can't buy plastic fucking bags and certain shit.
In New York, you gotta buy the plastic bag.
It's if we're calling ourselves a free market, if we're calling ourselves a capitalist market, right?
And
from
I'm
a
gonna say that the
business
capitalism is being unfair to the people.
Is it real
So it's
capitalism?
unfair to us for y'all to keep doing, for y'all to keep producing all that trash.
That's what capitalism
So fuck y'all fairness if you want to fuck y'all fairness.
If we're in a capitalist system, then I can do capitalist things. The government shouldn't be able to stop me from doing what I want. I'm sounding like a
The government's supposed to be worried about our climate control and stuff. So all of that is a part of climate control. So yes, they need to make laws to cap certain things because you fucking up the climate.
Fuck it, but if my business is not in that and not doing all that, you should.
Your business is fucking
up. Business is McDonald's. It's not affecting the environment.
Yes, it is. It's affecting the environment with obesity, with diabetes, with high cholesterol. Your McDonald's is affecting the. It is affecting us.
No, it's
yes, it is. It's affecting us.
You agree?
Yeah, because he wants to send the immigrants back home. So
that's a whole other subject.
You see,
slaves aren't legal anymore because of color.
A lot of things happen, right? Where so first Trump wants to send people back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the better thing of immigration is that you know what, immigrants are over here because America destroyed their countries. You got to remember that, right? So that's the first point that you got to. You know what I'm saying? So when you say,
that's a
thing with Africa,
United
Kingdom, right?
And guess what? And capitalism did it.
If you talk to
capitalism, so you agree with me.
Capitalism did it.
So you agree with me.
I agree that you agree that capitalism.
Everything, make our money.
No, I didn't say I agree with you.
Great again, and we're America first.
Do you know what? Do you know what? So think about this, right? If you ask any immigrant, right? If they because people will be like, because that's the first people questioning. If you love your country so much, why you come over here? For the money, sir. For the money. There's nothing else. Not for the culture, not for the streets, not for nothing. It's only thing for the money. Yep. And people get that confused because it's literally we cannot eat economically over there, right? They've destroyed the farms. It's not an impact, and then price. So everything is arbitrary. All this stuff is made up. That's the first thing you got to remember, right?
Yeah.
Prices double. Like your price thing double. Like where did that double from? How did that happen? What is the the markets? I said, who's controlling the markets? So
America, thank you.
There's a bunch of people. So, and I'm just saying that's what we have to understand first of all, right? And then the next thing is that there's no law. Law is once again the velvet rope, right? But it's like whack-a-mole. Once you create a law, there's a loophole because you know why? Because the law come here, they'll fight the Supreme Court, they'll say it's law, the interpretation. There's so much you can do. The only thing I'm gonna give you these two countries again is you can say China and America, right? So China's problem was this, right? This was China's problem. Nobody would spend money. They would all save every day. That's all they did.
That's their culture.
You know what I'm saying? That's their culture, right? But it
culture.
messed the economy up because you have to have, that's why consumerism, that's why all of these things conflate and they're so hard because we're not about impact. You see what I'm saying? And because you're in a world market where capitalism actually controls the whole world, right? So because of that, when money's not circulating, banks can't lend out money. There can't be no interest. We can't just make up something out of nowhere. So all of these goes up. All of these things happen because there's no money circulating. So that's why when you see sometimes when the Fed say, hey, we're going to tighten the money control, the money circulation, or we're going to put more money into the circulation because it has to be where there's dollars circulating and marketing is going on and people are buying stuff. If people are not buying stuff, the whole economy goes down.
Stimulus checks. Like,
that's what they call
comment,
it, right?
subscribe. This knowledge, stimulus checks. Next show, like, comment, subscribe.
That's what they call it, right? The stimulus check, right? It's stimulate the economy. So just going back and I'm when I say you're a woman, right? I'm saying that because
go down the rabbit hole. Fuck that. We got your back, man. We got your back. We got your back, man. Go down the rabbit hole. We got your back.
Supposed to be my boys. You already got his back.
We sorry. I got your back.
No, fuck that shit.
In all of human history, right? In all of human history, right? When they say to go in there, right? What do they do? What do they do with the village, right? When they say, hey, the men and women and children, what do they do with the men?
Separate the men.
What they do? No, what they do with the men?
The men, they learn, they fight for war.
No, I'm saying, but when the invading troops come in, right, and they come into a village, they kill all the men. What do they do with the women and children?
They keep
separate. They keep. You know why? Because a woman will just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get with the program. Wherever safety's at, I'm gonna get with safety. You see what I'm saying? Because they know we're the men. We cannot depend on the women to say, yo, you know what?
Safety's in that capitalism.
That's where it's at, because that's where the money's at right now. Men are this is why women are so easy to get into corporate America and men are not, because men, when if another man start challenging you,
you lose your job because you stand on your
You
principles.
stand on your principles. You see what I'm saying? Like and then a
You
woman
stand on
is
your
not,
principles.
and even when a woman gets mad,
Get off the shot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
You done tapped in on it.
You
tapped in.
That's what
Yeah.
happens though, because men can only take it so far.
Hell
A
yeah.
woman can go off on her boss, right? And he'll be like, no, that ain't nothing because you're not a threat. Because women will start yelling and getting crazy and all like that, you be like, you blush it off because it's not a threat. If I start yelling and getting crazy, man, be like, yo, what's going on? He a threat. You know what I'm saying? Because men start being like, yo, something could happen in here. You know what I mean? But when a woman do it, so in corporate America, no matter what a woman does, she's not really a threat. So they bring the women in, they incorporate them, but you're not going to see the men. That's why you see more men have to be higher pitched. Yes, of course. Don't put the banana in my tailpipe, right? That's what because people always say, hey, we talk white, right? They be like, you talk intelligent, you talk white. I said, no. You talk with a white man's tone. Yeah. It's not about intelligence. It's not about your vocabulary. Yes. Nobody ever said Malcolm X talks white. Nobody ever said that Dr. Martin Luther King talks white, right? Because their intelligence was something that people seen in their not. So where I'm going with this whole thing is that money has to be circulated in it. So the only way you can do this is through marketing, is through having these conversations, is through these channels to get people not to do consumerism, to understand, hey, you need to save, you need to put your dollar down. You need. So I have this thing with Dave Ramsey, right? Dave Ramsey has the baby steps and
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Most people should take that, right?
Mhm.
Most people should do that in their life. They should be saving their money, not be in debt, and everything like that. The other conundrum I have with it, though, is that in order to make something amazing happen, you have to take on debt. You have to take risk. You have to be like, yo, you know what? I might lose it all. So that's a gamble that some men and I was tell yo, that's a gamble I'm going to take. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do something. I'm like, yo, it's either we're going to do something amazing or we're going to bust. Because we're trying to make a different impact. Because we're trying to change things. We're trying to change. And if every man, this is my one thing about this. As I talk to the brothers here, we're all here in Lithonia. We be chilling, right? The thing is, if you stay in a community and you there for 30 years and you see the kids grow up with the kids and you impact them because you're having little conversations with them every week, every other week, you see them grow from 5, 6, they be like, yo, and you see that? That's how we can change the world. That's how we can change our community as men. Not on Instagram, not on social media, not nothing, but living in our community for 30 years and being men of influence and being men of honor right there in our community.
The whole word. That's a whole word.
That is a whole. That's a whole boy. That's
That's me at the conversation. I was
no, because I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back.
Make sure they safe.
Was good. It's correct. Like I 100% agree with it.
So how do you feel about
female involvement in it? And that's always my problem is when black men or organizations, whether white or black, they don't incorporate women. And I feel like as talking as a black woman, I feel like everything does come from a black woman for the same reason that you said. The first thing they do is kill the black men. So a lot of entertainment, a lot of stuff, a lot of free market money is based on what the black woman likes and it's circulating that and like keep going. But that's my own personal view and everything.
So y'all remember the conversation that we had the other day? We was talking about levels, and I said who's gonna die first.
Yeah,
and that's why I said the bottom. So that's what I'm talking about. We dying first, so we the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom.
We're gonna be treated like the bottom, even though we the most threat.
Yeah, we got.
But we still the bottom. That's what and that's what I was talking about. We are gonna die first.
But